Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Just want to make a video about traveling, particularly air travel. Try to give some advice. And the reason for that is I have traveled a lot for jobs, and I have also traveled internationally a few times. But more importantly, I've been in the airport business for nearly 20 years. I've worked with the equipment that x-rays your baggage. I've worked with the equipment on the checkpoints, and also working with the conveyor systems at the airport when you check in your bag. So the biggest thing I would say is you want to give yourself enough time, obviously. A lot of airlines will have a cutoff of check-in time of 45 minutes prior to a flight. And the reason for that is if you are checking bags, for one, they want to make sure it has time to get to their sort facility or their sortation device to get it on the airplane. Things do happen. There are equipment failures. There could just be a large volume of people at that time checking in, causing a system just to be saturated with luggage. The other thing is too, when you go to the checkpoint, security checkpoint, they want to make sure you have enough time to get through that to make it to the plane in time for boarding. So a couple other things you can do to make sure your bag gets to where it's going. One is don't overpack it. If you have your suitcase and it is stuffed to the brim, most of the zippers nowadays are weak. And it is a conveyor system. There's diverters, there's pushers, or some people call them kickers. There are things that your bags go down slopes or slides, and it could actually break open. We've seen it many, many times. And the items in your bag will end up all over the conveyor system. And that can cause a delay in getting your bag or losing items. Another thing to do is you can have some sort of identifier on your bag. I would not recommend, a lot of people do this, they wrap ribbons around the handles and stuff like that. That's just inviting your suitcase or your luggage to get caught in something. Extra straps, things of that nature, do not leave those on your suitcases. You're just inviting trouble. But you would want to have something on the suitcase or in the suitcase that has your name and address and a contact number or email. That way, if something does happen and the bag is lost somewhere in the system and then recovered later, and maybe the tag falls off, which is common also, they have a way of finding out who that suitcase belongs to. And with that, when you do the self-tagging, just make sure you get it on correctly. If you're not sure, just have the ticket counter agent help you with that. That's what I do. I don't trust myself in trying to get those things to lay flat together. It just doesn't work out for me. And you want to make sure that that bag tag stays attached to your luggage. That's how it is tracked. It has a barcode on there with a number, and that is how it is tracked from the airlines, and the airport baggage handling system uses that barcode to track your bag. If you're flying with children, give yourself extra time, obviously. If you have strollers and car seats, you have to be aware that sometimes some of those items are not able to go down onto a conveyor system just because of the way they are. They fold up like they have wheels on them. They may be in a bag, but again, if they have like a long pull string on there, it's probably going to get caught somewhere if it's not secured properly. If you can just gate check those type items, you'll save yourself a lot of headache. People talk about, oh man, I just like to carry on my bag. The airlines lose my bags. Most airlines don't lose the bags, and most of the time the bags do not get lost. The airport I work at, we have, I think, over 95% success rate in sorting bags. Very rarely do they miss. And I will say this, the major carriers are better at tracking your bags than some of the smaller carriers, or even some of the international carriers that fly out from the United States, because they use a third-party vendor for their bags, which means the baggage handlers are not employees of that airline. They hire a third-party company to come in and take care of that for them. And they're not always the most reliable people to pick up your bags in time, especially if you are a late check-in. Also, just make sure you have all your identification with you, the proper identification you're going to need, whether it's driver's license or passport, depending on where you're traveling. If you are traveling internationally, I would recommend getting to the airport a little bit earlier, just so you know your bag is going to get there and it's going to make it on the plane. Because I've seen, unfortunately, several times where people are flying to Europe out of the airport I work at, and their bags do not make it on the airplane. I can't imagine getting somewhere and not having your luggage with all your items that you need to travel with. And on a side note of that, what I would recommend doing is on your carry-on, whether it's a backpack or a small suitcase, just have a change of clothes, maybe for a day or two. That way you'll have clothing to change into while waiting on your bag to finally make it to your destination. And of course, your travel size toiletries that you can actually bring through a checkpoint. You want to make sure you have some of those. And I think that pretty much covers it. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate, or any advice, leave them in the comments below. I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. I almost forgot. I was getting ready to finish editing the video to upload it, and then I remembered one other thing. If you do have a connecting flight, the best thing to do is make sure you give yourself enough time for the layover at the airport. I know it's not fun sitting around in an airport, but you want to have enough time in case there are delays. There's always weather or some other incident may happen with your departing airport, the arriving airport, the aircraft. Something can happen, and if you land and you do not give yourself enough time for your connecting flight, your bag may not make it. And that's really important, especially for your international flights, because they do have it now set up where you don't have to get your bag. They will actually just screen it at one of the international airports that you're connecting to. So again, just be aware of that. Again, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thank you.